Somebody said, when I die, I want Emily Henry to lower me into my grave so she can let me down one last time. I was having a smoothie and it had a lot of pineapple in it, and I guess I have a severe allergic reaction to pineapples. I'm sensitive to it. I don't know, but whatever you want to call it, the body did not want it. So now my diaphragm hurts. I hope that that makes sense. I had to expel the smoothie and it was horrible. A nausea. I know people don't like hearing about this kind of stuff. I was like, oh, click. No, maybe I shouldn't open a video like that, but I have to sip on this tea, 3 guesses what it is, to feel a little bit better. I'm just reeling from it. And that same night, I had a dream that I was in an elevator crash. Oh my gosh. Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Tanya, and today we're gonna be doing my July wrap up. It's always like a recall kind of thing. It's like, what month are we in? August TBR, July wrap up. So today is August 8th, and I just have a couple of books, not too many, because I feel like my reading was all over the place. I feel like it's been like that all year long. I don't know if it's called mood reading or I get excited for whatever booktubers are talking about, but I'm all over the place with my reading, with the genres, with the book picks. I picked something that I read back in high school. Oh my gosh. Because I was like, oh, I just want to do this book because it's summertime. I don't know if I should talk about that book first. I feel like people would click off immediately if they found out which book. So let me start by talking about maybe my hardest hitting book that I just wrapped up. It has to be Lord of the Flies by William Golding. Man, for the rest of the day after I finished that book, I was telling my family how low and despondent and just like dispirited and depressed, almost as if somebody, like I was grieving. I felt so downtrodden. I'm trying to find all of the adjectives, as I always do. Whenever I go on a kick of like using one word, I want to see if I can find as many like words as possible. It's just a thing that I do. But yeah, guys, I was feeling so low. Like it hurt me to finish, not to finish this book, but ingesting this book and just kind of consuming it and knowing, like revisiting it. It's just not because like, oh, I'm done, I'm sad, it's over, but more so it's like, man, that story hits hard every single time. William Golding is writing about these school-age boys who crash on this deserted island. We find that the island is quite plentiful and bountiful, full of food. There are boars and there's wildlife there, and there are fruit trees, okay, and everything is okay in that regard as far as being able to sustain yourself for sustenance, So these kids, they crash there, and they're school-age boys ranging from, I would say, about like 6 years old to maybe 13 years old. And we find out that it is during wartime, and everybody is of course hoping that they get rescued. The premise of it, we have some characters, of course. When we talk about the characters, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Please forgive me. So we have this character named Ralph, who is like our main kid. He's somewhat of a protagonist, a hero character in a sense. You would understand what I meant if you've read this book, because things kind of go topsy-turvy and very dark for basically every last character in this book except for Simon, who's kind of like a priest-like character. So we have Ralph, our main character, who's the hero boy, I can say. There's this young comrade of his named Piggy. He has glasses, he's a bit overweight, and he's the geek nerd of the group. He's the one that people are going to pick on. We have a rivaling person to Ralph's character. His name is Jack Meridew, and then he has his I feel like only French words are coming to me, chef. He has his right-hand man. He kind of has his military, his person who is going to help him execute certain things. It's like his right-hand man named Roger. I think that's his name, Roger or Robert. I feel so bad that I can't even recall this when I just finished this. That guy is a psychopath, okay? Roger. Ralph is declared the leader. They establish rules for the island, and they have all agreed that they want to keep up a smoke signal of fire at the top of the mountain, so that way any passing ships or anybody who might be in the area might be able to see that there are people here who are stranded and need help and rescuing. Quickly, we have this opposing side. Jack Meridew is the one who is somewhat of a big troublemaker. We immediately have conflict on this island because there are no grown-ups. We quickly find conflict and infighting within the boys between Ralph, the leader, and Jack Meridew, who has declared himself a hunter. He's like a choir boy, like head boy prefect kind of character. These kids, I think they even had their uniforms on, so it feels like he's somewhat a leader in his own right, but of a different group. So Ralph and Jack are kind of battling for dominance in this story. Jack is a hunter, and that becomes such a powerful thing because, you know, you need to eat, and they hunt these like wild boars on the island. It feels like because Jack hunted, I hate to say it like that, but it feels like it created somewhat of a bloodlust. Like his eyes just wanted ultimate power. But yeah, I really love this book. It's absolutely like terrifying. It'll take you on a tailspin. You know, certain characters end up dying and they are children, and it just basically shows the end of civility. When you throw well-mannered boys, good-natured kids into an uncivilized setting, they become like savages. Yeah, it is horrible, and it's a really good book to look into if you are interested in things like philosophy and morality and things like that. But it is such a page turner, really easy to follow. It's a great classic. It is terrifying. It really is. It's just terrifying. Yeah, I just want to I feel like I may not have closed up a point earlier, but Ralph and Jack, they just battle each other kind of till the end, until the island just sets on fire. This is probably like my fourth read of this book, I believe, and I think maybe in the next 5 years I might read it again. It just it's like a great reminder of how to act, like choosing the right thing. Yeah, like the voice of reason, logic, and morality, like goodness, you know? So yeah, I feel like I'm not explaining this book very well, but I would highly recommend this. This was 5 stars. Okay, remember that cheesy, corny, crazy kind of book that I was reading? And I said that I read it in high school. I was just curious because it's still summer, guys. It is like literally reaching 105 degrees still. Okay, today, as I said, is August 8th, 2024. And I wanted to, why am I embarrassed? But I enjoyed it. I have to say I enjoyed it. I wanted to read Dear John by Nicholas Sparks. Yeah, I shouldn't be ashamed of the books I read. But yeah, I just was in the mood for this, and I feel like this is just such a perfect summer. I feel like probably all of his books are very summery. Let me just quickly go over it. Dear John, it follows these two characters, Savannah and John. John is a military guy. Savannah is this student who's really interested in psychology, specifically the autism spectrum, okay, looking at different kind of disorders and things of that nature, Asperger's and, you know, that kind of thing. So, oh, by the way, oh my gosh, when I read that, when I watched that movie back in the day, it helped me actually get an A on a paper. I had no idea what the hell Asperger's was exactly. I read it in the book, and I watched the movie, and I kind of like talked a little bit about it. And the guy was like an impressive doctor in my high school and stuff, and I was like, I couldn't believe I pulled it off. This book doesn't really give you much details about it, but I felt like, you know, it's enough for you to kind of navigate a conversation if you really wanted to. But anyway, so Savannah and John meet in this North Carolina town, and they have an amazing time together. And John is in the military, as I said, and he, you know, has to go.
I gotta go back.
Just like that.
So while he's over there in Iraq, the Sand Bowl, he writes all of these letters back and forth with Savannah. It's like a romance, I suppose. It has other kind of contemporary fiction elements to it, I suppose, but it is a romance in essence. A very sad one. Because if you know anything about a Dear John letter, which is what John ends up getting, she breaks up with him while he's overseas. The wretched. So, yeah. I don't know if I should leave you guys with it there, but they find a way to reconnect, and I'm not going to say if it's a permanent connection, a love connection, but they do find a way to reconnect and talk again. And yeah, there's not much to it. It's a Nicholas Sparks movie. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It was just a fun summery thing. You can smell the ocean, you can feel the sea life, the fish, and the military aspect of it. It's very Americana, patriotic a little bit as well. You can just tell. That's really what Nicholas Sparks likes to write a lot. It's like American life a little bit. Like, yeah, it was good. It was good. If I had to give this a rating, and this is the first time I read it in like a decade or so, my rating will be, I think, 3 stars. I would give it 3 stars. Yeah. I mean, it was good. And would I read it again? Maybe. Just maybe. But yeah, this is such an old book. I've had this book for so long. Anyway, 1984 by George Orwell. I had a whole reading vlog dedicated to this book, and I'm so happy. It's one of my fave videos I do have on the channel because it was just such a special book, and I've been waiting to read this book for a very, very long time, and I like how the reading vlog turned out, especially after having been away from the channel for so long. Anyway, this book is an excellent guide of what to pay attention for with a totalitarian state. Does that make sense? This book, it's an excellent guide. It's an excellent overview of a totalitarian state, of a socialist state, of a Marxist state, of a communistic type of state, of a dictatorship state. So yeah, 1984, Big Brother is watching you. In essence, this guy named Winston lives in London, I believe, and there are these cameras everywhere. There are posters everywhere. There's propaganda everywhere, and he can't escape it. No one can. I'm getting nervous just talking about it. My lord, it's so bad. How overbearing the totalitarian state is. Like, as I said, everything is just super gray and downtrodden, and just like you just feel like heavy throughout this entire story. Like, you don't want to smile. You feel like you're constantly hungry, you're malnourished, you're just living in a concentration camp, it feels. That's the essence of it. And basically Winston tries to break free of this state, and it goes horribly wrong. So many people have given commentary and have analyzed this book way better than I could ever dream of doing, that I highly recommend you guys just YouTube 1984 analysis, 1984 commentary, and you'll find some very, very interesting things. Yeah, check out the video that I did. I dived into it a lot more than, this little wrap up, but yeah, this book was an excellent read, and I recommend it for anybody who really loves politics, who enjoys things like government and dictatorships and the different kind of political philosophies that have definitely been part of our world and is so prevalent in this one. Yeah, it's an excellent book. Another classic that I read this year. Okay, this next book, Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter. I did that one via Libby, the ebook and audiobook. So cute. It's so quirky and cheesy and funny, and it's just one of those romances that are super fluffy. And I feel like my favorite thing about that book was maybe the dialogue. I thought the banter was pretty good between our two main characters, Blake and Izzy. I thought it was really enjoyable, and I felt like I couldn't put it down because, like, I'm gonna talk to you about something next. But yes, I felt like I couldn't put it down because it was just so, like, it was pretty quick and cute and just fluffy. So yeah, Accidentally Amy, what is it about? This girl, it totally reminded me of Anyone But You, that movie with the girl from The Handmaid's Tale and Glenn Powell, who this is kind of funny actually. I'm gonna go see Twisters this Saturday. I'm not even sure where I was, but anyway. So basically, yeah, I was saying that it reminds me of Anyone But You, I think. Anywhoosies. Accidentally Amy, this girl is at this coffee shop, okay? And she's waiting for her order. It is taking forever, which is why it rang like Anyone But You. Like, her order was taking forever, and somebody named Amy has her order, and she's like, yeah, that's me. When her name is like Isabel or something, Izzy. She's like, yeah, that's me. And then when she turns around with her drink, she spills it all over this debonair guy, and she spills it all over his chest, and she ends up calling him Chest. I know, it's a little silly, but sometimes you just need a silly read, right? But yeah, she spills it all over him, and he doesn't even get mad, which is just like, it's like, it was an accident, wasn't it? And whatever, they have the cute little banter in the beginning, and then he's like, okay, see you later, Amy. And then she's like, what the heck? Why is he calling me Amy? And then she's like, shoot, I just stole this girl's cup of coffee and her name is Amy. So yeah, it sounds really silly when I'm saying it out loud, but it was a really cute little thing. The guy ended up being her boss, which means that he found out her name immediately. Was so cringy, like, oh, get me away from here, please. I don't want to have to deal with this.
Alrighty.
Which of these excuses is true? Or any of them? Will the real Rebecca Bloomwood please stand up?
Luke, you don't understand.
No, you're right, I don't. So do what I hired you to do, Rebecca, and make the truth clear to somebody who absolutely doesn't understand.
Oh my gosh, so yeah, it's a cute little fluffy romance. I think it's quite great for summertime. Oh, this next book though, I despise, I don't know if you can do that, but I hate this book. I hate it.
Oh, that's right. Are you gonna be okay?
Oh, I'll be fine. It's just, God, I hate her, Ross. I hate her.
Like, I really wish I could have my time back from reading this book. The best thing about this book was the audiobook narrator. She does a great job. I think she's pretty spot on. Like, wow. You can do all these characters. You're incredible. The book I'm talking about, I don't know where that English accent came from. The book I'm talking about is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I don't like that book. Not in the least bit. I went to Goodreads to see if I could find some common ground, some like-minded people, and I did. There was this one review that had me literally choking of laughter because of, how she wrote it, but it was so good. I was reading at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was trying to stifle my laughter from the rest of my household because I didn't want to disturb anybody, but oh my gosh, I really just in my little tirade, I did not like this book in the least. It really just upset me when I read about it. It started off okay, right? I was like, oh my gosh, Emily Henry, she's really descriptive. She slaps you in the face with, the main characters in that environment. It's like a vacation book. I'm just very excited to see what's happening. In essence, these group of friends, they get together to reminisce the old days, but everybody's lying to each other and everybody's keeping secrets from each other and everybody's absolutely annoying. The main guy who you're supposed to, I suppose, like. I don't read that many romance books. I keep calling them rom-coms, but romance books, I didn't find him appealing at all. I was like, no, dude, get away from me. He's a loser. A loser. Oh my gosh. I feel so bad. Like, sometimes I would just want to be bold with my opinions about certain things, but I don't want to offend anybody if you loved this character. But oh my god, the guy was such a freaking loser. Like, every page that I was reading, I was like so excited to be reaching the end. Somebody said the same thing. My happy place was the last page. I think something that I did like was that it seems like Emily Henry has good taste in music. I was able to revisit Willie Nelson, Always on My Mind. That's a good one. She always has like good music in her books. I'd like to look them up and, see what they're about. Like Book Lovers, it had a great song. Beach Read had a good song as well, and this one too. That was good. Yeah, so Harriet, our main character, she basically does gut work for this like surgery department at a hospital, and it seems like that's supposed to be her dream, but she doesn't really love it. She has these friends, Sabrina and Cleo, and it's giving that dynamic of Mamma Mia. Like, the three friends that come together and, are super happy to be, together, and they're very excited and whatnot. So Harriet is with this guy named Win. I think his name is like, oh my gosh, I want to say Winifred, which is a girl's name. He acted like a girl. That's my opinion. This is my humble opinion. I just did not like this guy. I was like, step up, be a man, be a little bit more, like, wake up. And this is where the guy just really was like, you're finished. Okay, in my eyes. He was with her for like, I don't know, 8 years? Anyway, he was with her for a very, very, very long time. Okay, and then he broke up with her over text or something, over the phone. The disrespect. And you said you would love me forever. Yeah, it was just, automatically downgraded because of that. And then all of the side characters, they were just beyond irritating and annoying. It had that anyone but you feeling as well, because that movie had a bunch of people converging to like a beach house for an event, for a wedding, which was kind of like what happened in this story. Okay, so that it was reminiscent of that. Oh my gosh, it was so permissive and indulgent, and I hated it. I really hated it. I wanted to finish it because I wanted to know what exactly happened, but just even the ending was so stupid. You know, the girl, I'm gonna spoil it for you guys, I'm sorry, but the girl, she ended up leaving her surgery, like residency department job, whatever, that she seemed to be very good at and actually enjoyed in some regard, for pottery. Everybody has a problem with that on Goodreads. They keep talking about how frustrating it is that she went from surgery to pottery. And I'm not saying you can't do that, obviously, but it's like, you have to read the book to understand how frustrating that was to see towards the end. Oh, yeah, I was saying, I wrote this note that I said my brain can't handle a slew of characters. It's just that they don't matter. Like, my brain glazes over every single time they are mentioned, every single time they are brought up. And it's not giving the wedding date. It's giving something else that I hate. That rhymed. And also, I was like, you know what? I don't think that's my favorite trope. I don't like this trope. I like fresh meat. I like new people. I like a new, like, dynamic, big bang, like, evolution. I like the convergence of two new people. I don't like this, like, ex-boyfriend, second chance romance. I think that's what they call it. You see, this is how I don't read that many romantic romance books. Romantic comedies. I don't read romantic comedies. Like, I don't like second chance romances. It's like, no, it doesn't really, it's not giving. It doesn't really excite me or make me want to read it. It's because, like, oh, you guys already have a history, so you can't feel all the butterflies and all the, it's like, I don't care. Like, I could give a crap. I don't like it. Oh yeah, and the side character, I believe it was Sabrina, Harriet's friend. She's a side character. Harriet is the main girl. She, like, I don't know. She, like, was trying to get proposed to, and eventually in Central Park, she ends up getting down on a knee and proposes to her boyfriend, and I don't even believe he said yes. I actually rolled my eyes for that part. I was like, don't do that. Just a freaking Central Park, no less, and you're asking this guy for your hand in marriage. It made me feel like it was the scene where Lorelai, sorry, spoiler again, I will, like, skip 30 seconds. But yeah, it just reminded me of the scene where Lorelai in Gilmore Girls went and asked Luke to marry her. I was like, what? Just stop. Don't do that. Ladies, don't do that. Another thing that I didn't care for, I don't mind it, but I didn't care for it in this story, was this non-linear back and forth, past, present. So we had, like, that kind of perspective to see, what was going on in the past and how we got here. So I hated this book so freaking much. I actually wanted to be rude to these characters. Is that weird? I wanted to be rude to them. That's the kind of visceral reaction that I had. I just don't deal with that kind of drama in my life. These people, they just all are getting together for a wedding. They're all lying to each other. They're all keeping secrets. And the two main people, I forgot his name. Wyndham? Yeah, Wyndham. Like Legally Blonde, like Wyndham. Wyndham, Wynn, and Harriet, okay, are doing like a fake dating kind of thing because they broke up and the friend group doesn't really know, and they were invited to the wedding. It's like, okay, let's just pretend that we're okay for them. Let's not ruin their day and whatnot. And oh gosh, I'm late for my meeting. But yeah, let's not ruin their day and let's just, let's just pretend for them. Like, it just sucked. Just freaking sucked. And that's how I felt for basically most of the book. I can't explain it. Oh god. And then there's this line at the end of the book. She was like, the guy lives in Montana and she lived in like San Francisco or something. And then remember, he broke up with her. She was saying like, are you saying I can come home? When they finally like got their little airport moment, you know, like running to the airport, running to meet each other, you know, like the typical airport scene that they have in the end of every movie. Somebody's running to the train station, running to go catch a taxi cab, and going to the airport to find their love because they mean that much to them. I can't believe I almost let you get away. That kind of garbage. Oh, they had a terribly corny line of like, are you saying I can come home? And then the guy, he went and said, I'm saying it's not home unless you're there. I mean, it is what I signed up for, but it's still... it's not good. Oh, what was funny, as I said, she had a career change from surgery to pottery. Her parents' reaction were hilarious. I really appreciated that. I was like, honey, are you sure? Do you want us to come over? Like, where are you now? Like, don't make this decision of like losing all that you've worked hard for, etc., etc. Yeah. I had automatically rated it like 2 stars. Even before I finished it, which is not a good sign. And every time that they just kind of like went away from the side characters and were a little bit more focused on Harriet and Wynn, the love interest, you know, the couple, I was like, oh, maybe I should raise it to 2.5. And then I was like, yeah, no, it slumped right back down to a 2 stars. I really detested this book. I did not like it. Actually, it should be a 1 star in all seriousness. I freaking hated this book. I did not like it. There was this Goodreads. I'm gonna see if I could read it out to you guys. It was just so hilarious. You may not understand it, of course, if you haven't read the book, but you can understand the sentiment of it. Actually, I ended up rating it 1 star, so I really did not like it. So, yes, happy place. I don't know. Can you see that? Let me not have my face. 1 star. 1 uno. I hated it. As I said. so sorry. Like, I don't care about these people. Somebody said, when I die, I want Emily Henry to lower me into my grave so she can let me down one last time. Like, it was just, oh, like, it made me insane. I hated it. Oh my gosh, how many times do I have to say that? But yeah, oh my gosh, this person wrote a very long... I'm just gonna, like, leave their review, like, in the comments or in the description, but it was so funny. She was hilarious. Sorry, I can't really read it because it's a little explicit and too long. But yeah, that was Happy Place. Very unhappy. I was like so excited when the book was over. I was like, ah, yes. And this is the very reason why sometimes I don't like buying just any book. Like, check it out first via your library app if you can, or online, digitally. Just, yeah, I don't want to spend my hard-earned money on that. I enjoyed Book Lovers. It was all right. Beach Read was better than Book Lovers. I can smile about it. I'm not sure why. It's the same author, but you know, I feel like it's because it's one of her older works. I don't know if she's progressively getting worse, because Beach Read was older than Book Lovers, and Happy Place is even, I think, newer than Book Lovers, and I did not like that. And now, you know, I have this book here. Funny story, right? What will be my rating for this? I don't know. I'm really hoping, because people, if she does this to me again, I'm hoping it's good. Like, you're supposed to be making people happy, not pissing them off. I don't know. A lot of people love Happy Place, but I didn't like it. Okay, we're gonna stop with that rant, because I'm still going on for such a long time right now. Okay, next book. This book. The Outsiders. So good. You'll see that in the 24-hour readathon. It should be up by now. It was a horrible experience filming the readathon, but it was such an excellent book. 5-star book following this gang of kids called the Greasers. They have a rival gang in the same town, more or less, called the Xoxos. The Greasers are a little bit more on the poverty line. The Xoxos are a little bit more wealthy and more elite, I suppose. The Greasers kind of feel like Danny's team. Danny's people from Grease Lightning, you know? What's that movie called? Grease. Grease. And the Xoxos feel a little bit more like the Jets.
So listen, everybody dress up sweet and sharp. Meet Tony at the dance at the 10. And walk tall.
We always walk tall.
We're Jets, the greatest.
From West Side Story. We basically have a set of brothers and then a bunch of friends, and something tragic happens within the Greasers. They end up killing a Xox, and it kind of erupts somewhat of an on-the-run kind of situation where people have to hide out and the law is looking for them. It also has to deal with family dynamics. It has to deal with trying to grow up in an impoverished environment. That's definitely a part of the story. But yeah, I just absolutely ate this up. I loved it. S.E. Hinton's writing was so good. It like I didn't want to put it down, but I had to every single time for the readathon. It was just such a hot mess, and I hope you guys enjoyed that video, but this is one of the videos that I probably hated filming the most out of my channel. It took me 3 months to film a 24-hour readathon because I was like, oh, I want this part and this, and then I failed because I didn't do it in 24 hours, and I also didn't even read all the books that I wanted to. I will try it again in 2025, but oh my gosh, the taste of a 24-hour readathon is just not something that I want to deal with right now, ever. Like right now, for the foreseeable future. I love this. They have like such dynamic characters in here, a lot of beautiful writing. It's just so easy to read. It's very digestible, excellent classic, and it just like, it's gonna go all the way to the end of time. It's just so good. And one of my favorite aspects of the story was this relationship between these three brothers, Ponyboy, sort of Pop, and Daryl Curtis. I love seeing like the family dynamics of it. If you want, check out the 24-hour readathon if you care to, and you'll find out a little bit more of my thoughts on what is going on in this book. But yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's such a tragic story. I got a little teary-eyed, but I didn't really cry because as I said, I have a cold, callous heart, and that really wasn't gonna work for me. Let's see what else we have. I don't think I even read any more than that. Yeah, anything that I would like to divulge. I really wish that I read more diverse and like a larger volume of books in July, but it's just been so hard. It's been so hard for me to just read this year. Like, it's just because I'm in a new environment. When I was in New York, I was able to just kind of like get through more books because I had less distractions. I was alone. It was more comfortable to film by myself, things like that. But yeah, I just feel like it's been so tough to just pick up the camera and move about and just dispel my thoughts to you guys when I'm here in Miami. But I'm trying to work on that, and I'm trying to make that better. But yeah, those are some of the books that I read for the month of July. I think I ranted enough for today, right? I think I did. I sure did. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of those books. It feels like so lackluster. I'm like ending the video like on a low. I don't know why. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the books that I read. If you guys have any recommendations for me to have an amazing August reading month. I am very excited for the rest of summer. It's still summer, people. It's still summer. I'm very excited for summer, and I'm excited for fall as well. I know a lot of fall content is creeping into our feed. It is very irritating and annoying in my humble opinion. I said it and I'll say it again for the TBR video that I'm going to film literally after this. But yes, comment below, you know, what your reads were for July, what you're thinking of reading for August. I will be in the comments, of course, as you guys know. Like the video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
So grow up. It's cheating season for God knows reason. Stop making up excuses.